So just about 4 years ago, this was my gaming setup. I was using a Xbox One connected to my TV, and most of the time I was using a office keyboard and mouse, which was on top of my desk, and that desk was like 5 feet away from the TV, and it wasn't even facing the TV, so it was pretty bad. Since then, a lot has changed about my gaming setup, and today I will share everything with you. Starting with this picture that was taken November 2nd, 2019. I had a TV in the corner of my room, and plugged into it I had my Xbox. Then a couple months later, I found a keyboard and mouse, which was like a office keyboard and mouse, and I connected that to my Xbox so that I could play Fortnite on keyboard and mouse. And since that moment when I tried keyboard and mouse, I've always knew that I wanted a computer in the future. A couple months later, I still didn't have a computer, but what I did have was a brand new YouTube channel. On May 8th of 2020, I posted my first ever YouTube video, which was a Fortnite montage. And I posted that video on this YouTube channel, which you're watching right now. And on this YouTube channel, at the start, I posted Fortnite content and like Fortnite montages, which were really bad, but at the time, I thought that it was the best thing ever. Then after a couple months of posting this Fortnite content, on September 20th, I finally got my dream gaming laptop.
Yo, what is up guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today is a very special day because I finally got my gaming laptop.
Here's the gaming laptop. It's the HP Omen, I'm pretty sure. So over here are most of the ports.
Alright, so during this time, I started to create a lot more content, and that's because, as you guys saw, I got a gaming laptop. So I started posting a lot more content on my YouTube channel, and I opened up a TikTok page, and I posted a lot of short form content on there because creators like Low were posting whatever they were posting, and so I just kind of like hopped on the trend and started posting videos about my own setup. And actually one of those videos popped off. It got like over 3 million views, which was pretty crazy, and it was a pretty horrible video. I still have no idea to this day how it got so many views, but it's literally like me showing how I start up my setup right before I stream, and yeah, during this time I streamed on YouTube to like 2 viewers. So yeah, that week I literally gained like a couple thousand subscribers, as well as around like 30,000 TikTok followers, which was pretty crazy just from that video. So it's pretty crazy to think that from that video on TikTok, I was able to like take that audience and move it to YouTube and make them subscribe to my YouTube. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. I still remember to this day when I was like on my phone in bed responding to comments, because there was like thousands of them. So yeah, it was a pretty cool moment, and it was definitely kind of life-changing, because without that video I probably wouldn't have any of this, and you guys probably wouldn't be watching this video. So yeah. Alright, so a couple months of creating content consistently on TikTok and a little bit on YouTube. After like a bit, I got my first monitor. So it was like a LG 32-inch monitor, which is actually the one right here, and yeah, it was a pretty big upgrade because I used to just use the monitor that was on my laptop. So now I had my laptop like screen and also this monitor, and it is 165 hertz, so it was like a kind of a big upgrade. And it also let me stream easier because I could just have my OBS on my laptop screen and then my game and or anything else just on my main screen. So yeah, this was the setup. Alright, so in setup number 3, I made a couple big upgrades, but the big one was I built a new desk for the setup. So my old desk was just kind of on the side. I made like a L desk. It wasn't really like aligned, but I had 2 desks. And on the big one that I built, I had my main gaming setup, which had the 32-inch monitor, and then I actually bought a mount for the monitor, so I had my laptop like in the air pretty much, and then my monitor was just floating as well, so it was pretty nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this setup. Here's the video of it. Alright, so a bit later, I actually got another monitor, which is the one right there. It was an Acer, like 23-inch monitor, and I got it just like so that I have 3 monitors. So I had my laptop screen now, my 32-inch main display, and then I had the Acer display. So yeah, I had pretty much a 3-monitor setup, and yeah, that was pretty much it for the laptop setup. I added some more accessories to it, but the main part during this time, I actually started building my gaming PC, which is down there at the moment. I started building it because I actually bought parts like during when like the parts like GPUs cost the most. Unfortunately, I thought I actually didn't know really what I was thinking, but parts were pretty expensive, so I bought like the case first, and then I got the motherboard, I think, and then I just got like piece by piece. I started building the PC, and then eventually the only thing I needed was the GPU, and then eventually I got it for a pretty hefty price, but that doesn't matter. I had my PC built, so I had now pretty much 2 setups. I had my main setup, and then I had the laptop, which I used for editing and doing all of that. So here's the setup for that. Alright, so for some reason, I really like to change my setup a lot, and if I made a video on all the times I changed my setup and everything about the setups, the video would be probably like an hour long. So I'm just going over like the main transformations, like where I made like big upgrades. So yeah, this next one is a pretty big upgrade. I actually transformed my whole entire room, not just the setup. So I actually changed the colors of my walls. As you can see, the colors of my walls were like blue, and then a bit of red on the main wall. Which were pretty nice when I was younger, but I wanted to change it up a bit, so I picked out like a gray color and then a gray color underneath, like so it has contrast, and then on the main wall I made a design as you guys can see right here. And then with that, I actually built an entire new setup, changed it up a bit, mostly using like the same stuff, but it looked a lot better than before because of the new room. So yeah, here's the video for that. Alright, so that was like my main setup at the time, and I actually transformed my setup. Like I said, I transformed my setup like a ton, so I transformed my setup a ton throughout the time. But a couple months later, I actually built a setup which I was really happy with, which had 2 monitors. I actually got this like stand. It was like a tall monitor arm, so I could fit a monitor underneath and then a monitor on top. So it was like a stacked monitor layout, which looked super good in my opinion. It's one of my probably like my favorite setup that I built. So here's the video for that. Alright, so yeah, that was a pretty insane setup, and the reason now I have a new setup, which is the one that we're going to be talking about right now, which is the final setup in this setup evolution video. So yeah, this is the setup. I changed it because now I'm like focusing more on the YouTube channel and working, so I wanted a setup like for that. So I have a setup for gaming and like when I'm filming YouTube videos. And then I have my editing setup, which has actually 3 monitors, which is super useful because before I used to just edit on my laptop, which was horrible. So this is like actually super useful. It might not look as good, but I actually prefer working at this setup instead of the other one because I used to not even use my main setup like with the dual stacked monitor layout because I just would never use it. I don't really play games anymore. I don't stream because my main focus is this YouTube channel. So now I'm able to use like all my monitors, and yeah, and then whenever I'm like playing games or doing anything, I could just do that on my other setup or filming YouTube videos, which I actually quite often film YouTube videos on this setup, like when I'm doing like gaming videos or testing keyboards out. I actually just film them right here, which is super useful. I really like the setup, and yeah, here's the video for that. I'm not gonna play that much of the video because you guys can actually watch the video. I'm gonna have it up on here like on the card because I actually recently made a video on it, and I actually made an in-depth setup tour. I think it was my last video. Alright, and with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, hit that like button and subscribe. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.